They say that moving house is one of the most stressful things you can do. Maybe it is. Let me share my experience recently. Hi friends, Daz here, back again, yes!
What's wrong with you, Daddy?
Not that exciting really. Another ridiculous amount of days since I did the last one. House is still in a complete tip, still messy, but I have sort of got some plates now.
What?
And I have done some bits and pieces and tidied up and used the slow cooker. Proper adulting thing for someone, which if you know me is quite a scary idea, me doing adulting.
All right, that's the way it is.
But my name's Daz. I make nearly daily videos on mental health and personal development and everything around those subjects to help you to change your mind, change your life. Now, as I said, recently I've changed location, I've moved house, and that whole thing, whilst in theory was a lot easier than perhaps normal house moving is, I wasn't actually buying, I was renting to renting. I was going from one room, which I'll talk about in another video, to this apartment, this flat. And so out of all of the sort of stresses that are involved in moving house, this is probably one of the sort of the least stressful situations you could be in, and that's all good and that's lovely.
Okay.
However, what I didn't realise is just how much anxiety I had doing it. It was quite weird. And I do remember leading up to the actual move, admittedly I had all my stuff in one room and lots of it was still packed from previously, but it was very, very strange because I knew I had to pack things, I knew I had to tidy up and get things ready to move out. But I sort of done nothing, and it literally got to the day before, the Friday, and I got home from work that evening and I just went to bed.
No sir, I don't like it.
Now I knew I had to do packing and tidy and all that stuff. I just didn't do it, and I didn't realise actually how much anxiety I'd had on the build-up, and it was just sort of pushing me down into my little kind of cave and just not wanting to do anything, just wanted to sleep.
You're a stupid dumbass.
So I got up and, long story short, did all the stuff. It did take 2 days instead of 1 day really, so that all said. But the point is, sometimes when there's a change in our lives that I've now noticed, that whilst we perhaps think it's not necessarily a stressful time, often if we are struggling with any kind of mental health condition or anything like that, just that change can actually leverage in a ton of extra anxiety and stress and pressure, albeit maybe less than a bigger situation, but nonetheless it's still there. And this is something that I found out. Just that simple move, and literally like 2 miles down the road from one room into a flat apartment, nothing could be easy. I was moving myself in my car, so it was a number of trips, but there wasn't really any furniture to move. It was the easiest move ever, really. Physically, kill me. One, I'm out of shape, but two, it's just lugging stuff around and it's just, yeah, hard work, but not particularly stressful. However, it just really ruined me, and I think it wore me down, and I actually got quite run down, and the knock-on effect of that, I ended up being quite sort of sick and man-flu-y and all that kind of crap, and it threw me, completely threw me, because I did not expect that. So I guess the point of today's video, now I finally got to the point of today's video, big brain Daz, right there, is that we do have a natural aversion to change or discomfort with change. Sometimes change can actually just smash us with a ton of anxiety and stress that sometimes we're not expecting. And so I guess the message is expect the unexpected, if that makes any sense really in this context. I don't know, it's a weird one. I suppose be more open to the fact that they're likely be, I guess the idea is to be more open to the fact that there's I guess you have to be more I guess the idea is to be more open to the fact that there is likely to be more stress or more anxiety in that situation than perhaps you thought. So sort of give yourself leeway in that and think, well, okay, everything seems fine, but just, you know, think, okay, let's just go a little bit easier on myself. Let's not plan to do as much in that particular time, because it can creep up on you. And with me, it sort of manifested itself with illness, but you know, it can kind of trigger the other way and, you know, a bit of a sort of a mental
Clinically fed up, boo-hoo.
So depending on how it manifests itself, that's what we don't know. And so if there's any change coming up in your life, whether that's going back to work after a period of time off, which I know myself from last year, I was off for 3 months, and I know there's a number of friends in a similar situation, and that is also a big change. Whilst it's going back to something that you know and you do and you know everyone and all that stuff, having not been there for a while is a change. And so it sometimes seems a bit weird to kind of be kind to yourself and take it easy when you've technically been taking it easy while you've been away. Sometimes that's perception, but that change is still quite a source of anxiety and a source of stress. So again, it's just easing yourself in and take it easy. And to be honest, what everyone else says, you've got to take care of yourself. And most people are not going to be horrible to you or anything like that, but there is always that pressure, whether that's from yourself thinking that other people are expecting things of you, or externally from the company or wherever, to kind of be back to full power in a short amount of time. That take as long as you need to get yourself back to full strength, back to full power, and back to doing what you were before, because that's the important thing. There is a reason why you were off, and you know, you've got to take that into consideration and ease in and do the thing that's best for here and here.
Good. Mighty good.
And any other sort of change, these things are to a degree inevitable in life, and whilst you can't perhaps plan for the end of a relationship or a death if you didn't know it was coming, it's again how you look at that and how you react to what's happening has a huge effect on your mental health. And I've banged on about this many times, but the phrase E plus R equals O, event plus reaction equals outcome.
Wow.
Events are going to happen. It happens, that's life. We can't alter events. How we react to them is totally in our control. We can be happy, we can be sad, or we can be neutral. And how we're reacting will determine 100% the outcome and how our life goes on and how our day is.
Oh yeah.
It's easier said than done, I appreciate that, but when things are happening, try and step back a little bit and just think,
how am I reacting to this, and is that best for me?
Said fuck everyone else. This is not about being selfish or anything like that. But you've got to think of your own wellness, your own well-being, and your own mental health and mental well-being, and think about how you're reacting and how you're thinking about particular situations. And if that reaction or that thought process is not actually doing you any good, don't do it. Move to a different thought process or different reaction. And it takes some practice, you know, takes some doing, but you'll find that by just stepping back a bit and a little bit objectively and going,
okay, I'm thinking in this way, that's actually not doing me any good, I'm stressing or whatever. Why am I thinking like that?
because that event's happened. That's happened. There's no way around that. But how I'm thinking about it can change. Now, obviously, if the car breaks down, I'm not saying be super elated about it, of course. You can be neutral. But if you get really pissed off and f***ed off and go, I hate everything, then your day or week is going to be because that's how you've decided to react. Be neutral about it and go, well, if I'm unhappy about it, I'm going to be pissed off for the rest of the day or the week. But if I'm neutral about it, I'm neutral. There's no feeling about it. The car's still broken down, still has to be fixed, but how you react and how you feel is entirely in your our power, basically.
Isn't it delightful?
And so think about that, and when it comes to change, look at what's happening and just give yourself a bit of a buffer of room for that extra bit of anxiety or stress or mental confusion or fog or however it manifests itself with you, because that way you're just looking after yourself a little bit more and taking that time, and in the end, you know, you want to be moving into the new place or the new job or the new relationship or whatever it is with a nice, clear, happy person. And so taking these things on board, hopefully you'll get there and you'll be absolutely groovy. Right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, coming back, all the good stuff. I promise I will be back to regular videos once I get my shit together, once I get all this sorted out. There's so much stuff. Also, I'm on early, so it's just first world problems. Anyway, again, thanks so much. Really appreciate all the likes, comments, views, and all the groovy stuff. Good things are coming soon. I've got a meeting tomorrow about some plans, projects and things that I'm very, very excited about, that I hope to bring to you with the aid of someone else, and really want to kind of, I want to unleash this, and we're going to sort of bash some ideas out tomorrow and hopefully bring you something very, very powerful to hopefully help you to change your mind, change your life. See you next time. Bye-bye. Thanks again for watching, guys. I really, really do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so down here, and check out my other video down here. And remember, live your best life. See you next time. Bye-bye.